Então, essa é a primeira aula. Geralmente na primeira aula eu procuro saber assim, o que a pessoa quer, o que a pessoa está buscando, né? O que você quer, o que você está buscando, qual que é a ideia.
Bom, legal poder fazer aula com você e eu acho que é aprimorar meu inglês. Eu já fiz um tempo de aula, eu fiz com um professor particular em 2003, mais ou menos. Aí depois
Você fez professor particular, mas ele ia na empresa, ia na sua casa? Qual que era?
Ele ia em casa, aos sábados.
E era sempre aula 1 a 1?
Era eu, meu irmão e ele. A gente fazia em 3, né? Só que eu nunca pratiquei, não praticava nessa época. Aí depois eu fiz no Senac.
Isso foi 2003?
2003, é. Aí depois em 2005, acho 5, 6 eu fiz no Senac. Aí eu não curti assim a aula da escola, não me adaptei bem. Aí eu...
Do you mind if we switch to English and you tell me the story in English?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
So I've studied at Senac around 2006.
Okay.
And actually
And it was like a specific English course?
It was a specific English course, and I started at upper intermediate, I believe.
Okay.
And then I realized that I was not improving my English because I did not have enough contact with the practice itself.
How often did you do it? How many classes a week?
I used to have one class a week at Saturdays.
Okay.
So my mind was
on Saturdays?
On Saturdays.
Yes.
And my mind was always looking forward to the place that I was going out that Saturday. I was not focused on the classes and focused on other stuffs.
Yeah.
Other stuff.
Other stuff, yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah. Stuff is always singular.
Yeah.
Cool.
And what I think that was good for me, I started working at Ericsson. It was around 2008.
Okay.
And then I started using emails. I used a lot of tools such as softwares, and I got more contact with English.
Yeah.
But every time that I had to call a colleague or to have a presentation in English, I freaking out. I used to freak out.
I used to freak out.
I used to freak out. And then after that time working at Ericsson, I applied for a job and interview at IBM.
Okay.
And the work at IBM, it was always giving support for guys around the world, like Chinese, Indians, and...
But these were like people from the company or like third parties?
Yes, third parties working at other companies, such as NASA, as Cisco, other big companies. They used to have a tool that
you provided.
We provided, and I used to work as a support engineering.
Okay.
And it was really tough as well, because sometimes the guys called me and say, "Hey, I want to speak with someone from United States because I'm not understanding what you are saying."
Wow.
And I say, whoa, fuck.
Yeah. That's really tough, man. When you get that kind of feedback, it just frees.
Yeah. Because for me it was terrible, because I was learning the tool, the specifics for the job itself, and I also had to use to get exposed for pickup calls and speaking English in front of everyone.
Yeah. And at that time, were you taking English classes or no?
Inside of IBM, yes.
No. But you had like a private teacher, what?
Actually, a colleague of ours, he used to live at England, I believe.
In England? In England?
In England. Yeah. And then he used to give us classes around the English subjects.
Yeah.
And after...
And it was British?
Yeah.
And you learned prior to that, you learned American?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was a little difficult, I imagine.
Yeah, it's different. And for me, the most difficult thing was this exposure exposing myself to the other colleagues, the workmates. That was really hard because
But what? Do you think that they were judgmental, or you think you were judgmental?
Now I know I was judgmental, but at the time that it happened, I always thought, oh my God, I'm speaking wrong. They are looking for me and
looking at me,
and that was really tough.
Yeah. But did they make any jokes or anything like that?
No. The guys were just they were not caring about it.
Yeah.
It was my low self-esteem at the time, I believe.
How old were you?
I used to have.
I was.
2011.
Around
8 years, 25.
25. Oh.
And after IBM, I quit IBM. It was funny because I spent 9 months to get hired there, doing the interview process, and I worked there for 6 or 7 months.
Wow.
Yeah, I spent more time to start working there.
But was it a trainee program or something like that, or no?
No.
This is actual selective process.
Yes, it was a software engineering position at the time, and then I asked to quit.
Yeah.
And I applied for an opportunity. It was a trainee program and living abroad in United States at Detroit, and then I moved there. I lived for 6 months in United States, and that was my big challenge about English, because I used to have presentations for the C-levels at the company. I was working with different persons from different countries. Different people from different countries, such as England, Wales, Germany.
And it's all British accent.
Yeah, it was really tough. Really
I can
tough.
imagine, man. Wow, what a crazy story. But so you stay there, and then what happened?
Yeah, I stayed there for that period of time, and I came back to Brazil, start working as a consultant.
Yeah. So wait. Let us do that one. Hey, look. Usually when I try to teach someone a word that's got a crazy pronunciation like that, I do it really slow, because one of the ways that your brain learns the best is when you especially things that are related to coordination. You need to introduce that really, really slow, and then you are able to reproduce it faster. So that word it's got a crazy sound on it. It's like a consultant. Yeah, so do only this sound. Yeah, so it's consultant. Yes, consultant. Very good. So the L sound, you're gonna place your tongue right behind your teeth, like console. Beautiful. So now you do that. I'm gonna do it slow once, and then you repeat, consultant. Beautiful. So now one of the things that I think is very important is, and I can feel you're already a little settled on that, but when you have plosives at the ends of words like T's and D's, just drop them. But you will still give it a little indication that as if you're gonna say the plosive, but you don't. So consultant. Very good. Don't say the T. No T sound. Just the insinuation of the T. Consultant. Yeah. So I was a consultant. Yeah, sort of. I'll get there. So one of the things that I usually do with my students, since I've got your WhatsApp, so this is very important. It's very important that you practice later on. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say it real slow. So consultant. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take this audio, and then you're going to repeat it many times. When you get home, I don't know, you do that in the shower somewhere. It's private, and you feel at ease to do that.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
keep up with the story.
So, and I also in that experience at Compuer, that the name of the company.
Compuer.
Yes.
Okay.
We used to have a APM software solution that stands for Application Performance Management Software.
Yep.
Actually measures the time of a transaction and how it will relate with technology like databases and
what do you mean by
JavaScript
transaction in that case?
Let's say that we are browsing through Amazon website, and we want to pick up an item and put in the cart.
Okay.
So this is a transaction that has a code.
So it's not a financial transaction,
No.
it's any sort of transaction.
Yeah, and it must be related with IT.
Okay.
So we program a monitoring for that transaction, for that specific transaction, and let's say that this transaction used to happen like 0.5 seconds.
Yeah.
So if it starts taking longer than 1 second, it will raise a threshold, and I will receive an email saying, "Hey, this is dangerous. You might be losing revenue because of that."
Okay.
So our tool,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really advanced, and our tool was able to measure that slowness, and we could drill down inside the code, the database, or the hardware itself.
Where was the inefficient point?
Perfect. So it was a beautiful experience to work in the company.
Yeah.
But I worked for 2012 up to 2014. So I quit the job again and start my own business. And now for
wait a second. Let's just so 2 words there. Actually, I don't know if I remember the second, but the first one was threshold. So at the level you were at, like it's very important. Like I'm not gonna, we're gonna review some basic stuff. Like get back to grammar and some, because when you learn, it's like you learn it. You will start gathering knowledge, but it's not in sequence. So you got to go back, like a number of times to see some basic stuff. But at the level you're at, it's very important that you stop on words that you're not pronouncing properly and redo them. So, I now remember the second word. So, the first word was threshold.
Threshold.
Yeah, very good. So, the same thing. It's the same problem on both words, but this one, there's a third word as well. So let's do this one really slow. Like the D at the end is silent. So it's a silent D. So you don't say it. So it's threshold.
Threshold.
Very good.
Threshold.
Perfect. The second one is beautiful.
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 Beautiful. Beautiful.
Very good. So an exercise that I give usually like every student of mine. There are 2 actually, which I think are very very good. So there's a tongue twister in Brazilian Portuguese, which is o rato roeu a roupa do rei de Roma. So you got to do that. It's funny, it's annoying, but you got to do it because it's for that sound. Beautiful. Yeah, because aside from some accents in Brazilian Portuguese, we don't say that sound very often. Yeah, so beautiful. Very good.
Beautiful.
And if like the full, you finish with the same L as consultant. Beautiful. Yes. So and there's a third adjustment that we got to do is biura. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Not that much like beautiful. Yeah, that was good.
Beautiful.
That was beautiful.
Yes, that's good. Yes.
And the third one was worked. Yeah. So it's a T. It's not a D sound, and even that T sometimes I don't say it. Like so say I worked there for whatever so I worked there. So many like I see lots of Brazilian teachers doing this like I worked there because So strong form pronunciation is usually normally employed in I wouldn't say non-spontaneous, but in more formal context. So we've got as an advanced student, you need to start paying attention to two different things: strong form pronunciation and weak form pronunciation. So when you're speaking regularly to someone in a spontaneous way, like an interview, like we're doing here right now, you're going to use weak form. So in weak form, many verbs that are in the past don't sound as you would expect as a Brazilian speaker, because you've got, usually when you take a look at a written word, like you've got excuse me,
yeah, sure.
you've got the word like worked. So you look at this word, and your brain will look at that D, and instantly it will want to say the D. But that's not something you are going to do. You're gonna first know that in that word, it sounds like a T in strong form pronunciation. So it would be worked.
Worked.
This is a strong form pronunciation. But this is strong form. But in weak form, it's a silent, sound. So it's I work there. I work there.
I worked there.
Yes, I worked there. Yeah, give up that D. Drop it entirely.
I worked there.
Yes, I worked there. Or for example, I played basketball for many years. You see, there's no D there. So it's many. One of the things that needs to be done when you get to that point, especially if you like in Brazil, there is this culture of English teachers that they don't understand actually weak form pronunciation. So you come from a background of people always pronouncing plosives at the ends of words. So it took you a very long time to learn that. It's going to take you a while to take that out of your pronunciation. So in weak form, not every, but most verbs do not have the D in simple past, like ed. And the E, I'm not even going to mention it. Like let me see. I played. So you're gonna use that when you have like another vowel or another sound. So it depends, on what you're going to do. So keep on going.
Yeah, and I was telling about the computer, so I quit. I quit.
Yeah, it's an irregular verb.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I quit. And then I started my own business since then. And my goal right now with English is to practice more because I'm not having enough contact with the idiom itself.
The language.
The language. Yeah. Last year I traveled for United States, and I was able to get more exposed to conversations. But I still feel that I have few domains of comfort. Yeah. And there are others that I don't have enough vocabulary to express my ideas. Or,
for example,
I don't know, small talks such as TV shows or entertainment.
Small talk. Yeah.
Small talks.
No talks.
No talks.
Small talk.
Small talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it? There's no S.
Okay.
Yeah. And small talk, TV, entertainment.
Yeah, and then start a conversation with other person. I don't know if I'm walking and I came across a person that I don't know, and how to start a conversation with that person and how to maintain the conversation. Those
how to keep.
Yeah, how to keep the conversation going. Those are difficult for me.
You think it's a difficult you've got because of English, or
maybe because it's difficult in Portuguese as well?
Overall, yeah.
Something from my personality, maybe, yeah.
And in regards to vocabulary, you mentioned like some dimensions. Are there other dimensions you could, tell me as well that I have difficulties?
I
have trouble with.
Right now, I use English. My main use of English is to consume training videos or documentaries.
Yes.
Those are okay for me. I understand and I can get the concept of it, but I don't speak a lot. So I don't know how to build up a routine that I can practice more, practice conversations. I really hope that I can find a community that I believe you are building up
yes.
to have this, and I can talk with different persons.
People. Yeah, very good.
And then I want to keep practicing.
So this is the idea. So okay, cool. Before we get into what you were saying, I will always do this with advanced students. Like you were saying something, and I'll keep track of what you're saying and some keywords. And after you stop, we'll go back and redo that, because as I was saying, like you were trained to speak in a way that, and part of the advanced course is accent elimination, which it's an interesting thing. Usually you got to learn, like there are two different concepts: speaking properly and communicating. These are two different ideas. Like you don't need to speak properly in order to communicate. Like you will communicate in one way or another because you need, and the person needs you to communicate with them, so they're going to try to make that easy. But in order to speak properly, that's a different game, and this is what we're going to build in the advanced level. Like in the basic levels, people taught you how to communicate and express yourself and get things done, be objective. Now we need to build that. Why am I making such a big deal out of it? Because it may sound, but I just want to communicate. So if you're only into communicating, you should not be taking an English course or classes. It's like you've already got it. But so the goal of an advanced speaker is to speak properly, not to communicate, as I was saying. So why are you supposed to do that? Because people judge you a lot based on language. That's true. Like people, like what I tell beginners, like you need to learn how to communicate. Okay, that's cute if you're a beginner. And people will give you praise and credit because you're trying really hard. But, like you've got a lot of, vocabulary and stuff. It's good. People perceive you differently when you speak in a precise manner. So they will, like, it's something that's happened to me, like, along these years that I've been teaching, is when you're a person who's able to express yourself more clearly, people will reach out to you more often. Especially like the native guy or whatever, the foreign person, because they will feel they are also in a socially threatening situation. So they are trying to look for comfort. So who are they going to go to? The person who speaks better. In that case, you. So like this is the reason it's important for you to develop this proper way of speaking. Because it's a subtle thing, but in a business environment, you want to be the one who's going to be close to the opportunity, So this is the reason you should develop this in a better, more, powerful way. So let's get back to these words here. So first of the words, then. Yes, with an N. Then. So if you say, yes, and then, very good, and then, okay, and then. So you be very careful not to close your mouth and say them, because that's a pronoun, and them. It's like I don't want to talk to them, and then, and so two different words. So the M sound is you close your mouth, close your lips, them. The N sound is then. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Exposed to. I was exposed to. Say this sentence.
I was exposed to.
Exposed to. Very good.
Exposed to.
Yeah. Drop the D. I was exposed to.
I was exposed to.
Beautiful. Forget that there is a D there. Okay. So next one. Comfort.
Comfort.
Yeah, that's good. So it's like It's like Make this sound. Comfort. Yeah, cool.
I'm comfort.
Yeah, it was like I don't have a lot of comfort.
I don't have a lot of comfort.
Okay, good. You don't drop the T. You can make it a little more yeah, whatever. Watch the class again later on and do practice. So, okay, another word, concept.
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 Yeah.
Concept.
There's a problem in the vowel. Say it again.
Concept.
Okay, so concept. So it's like make this sound like Yeah, a little less nasal, like Very good. Very good. Concept.
Concept.
That was perfect.
Okay. Concept.
Concept. You can also finish with a closed mouth and not say the T. Concept.
Concept.
Yeah, that's a concept store.
This is a concept store.
Yeah, it's a concept store.
Concept store.
Very good. Not very nasal. That's awesome. You've got a lot of talent, man, for pronunciation.
Thank you.
So, and the last one, practice.
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 Very good. That was perfect. So, keep on going. You said that you've got your own company. What is it about?
Yeah, now I have a company that sells vegetarian and vegan products for pets.
Mm-hmm.
And we have an e-commerce as well as a distribution company to sell for retail stores.
Is the distribution company also yours?
Yes, we have. It's the same company, and we have two business models. One selling for B2C customers, and another one selling to B2B customers.
And when did you start that business? Was it like right after you came back from Detroit?
Yes, perfect. I came back from Detroit in 2012, at December 2012, and next year, 2013, we got a pet, a dog, and I was vegetarian at the time.
Which breed is it?
Pug.
Yeah, cool.
His name is Rufus.
Yeah.
And he has a brother that calls Frodo.
Who's called?
Who is called Frodo. And
or you can also say, let me just interrupt a little bit.
Yep.
He's got a brother. He's got a brother called Frodo. Named Frodo.
Okay. Yeah. He's got a brother named Frodo.
Yeah.
And at that time, I knew it that we had a vegetarian pet food, but it was so difficult to buy at stores because of the distribution of this.
You mean that there was vegetarian pet food in the market?
Yes, already since 1998.
Okay.
And
do you know the name of the company? I'm very curious.
Free Dog.
Free Dog.
Yeah, Free Dog.
Okay.
And then
and what's your brand?
No.
What's your brand?
My brand now is VegPet for the e-commerce, and we have our own brand that is called Bicho Green.
Bicho Green. So did you hear, guys?
Yeah.
That's it. Buy from him, not from the other guy.
Yeah. and then we started the company. We did MVP, and after that,
what's an MVP?
It's a minimum viable product.
Okay.
So we tested the market. We saw that was a market fit. We started doing our first selling, and then we raised an angel money for expanding our company.
Expanding or expanding? Expanding. Okay. Got it.
And after that, we raised a seed round. There is some
business lingo.
Yeah, and now the English. You were telling me that people want and get more comfortable to talk with people that has a better pronunciation and a better English. For me, it's really important because I might be in contact with business from outside of Brazil that has companies similar to mine, and this startup environment, there are lots of opportunity in Silicon Valley and other places as well. So
and you are in touch, and you want to be in touch with those people in order to.
I have some relationships, some networking around that, but I want to get a stronger network, especially with venture capital firms and other agents of this ecosystem. It will be good for me and for my personal growing, professional growing,
growth
for personal growth, professional growth, as well as for maybe find out good opportunities for the business itself.
Yeah. So like, man, I think that we gotta, we could do the roadmap, which is like we set up a goal for you, and then we'll like break it down in smaller steps. I think that one of the most important things for you, since like the goal you've got is to talk to people and find opportunities. We could focus on that.
Yeah, sounds good.
I think that so my methodology is like we're gonna have some classes a week, so it's not gonna work if you don't do the work by yourself at home. Like I think that as a student who is making this investment, you should think about the class in a specific way. You should develop the mindset that the class is going to be a place for you to present me with content, since you are an advanced student. Like I'm not, I don't have to like take you by the hand and show you the path, but you got to bring content to me, and we will like open it up a little and look at it in detail, and then we can like extract, expand, and manipulate, and I can correct your pronunciation, and we can like introduce more vocabulary. And because one of the things that like is a challenge for advanced students is you have a lot of specific vocabulary that I'm not familiar with. Like I'm familiar with certain things from music, I'm familiar from certain things from corporate business, but like you've got a background in entrepreneurship, so we need to go over these vocabulary together, so we can use some tools online to see frequency and see what is the best whatever expression for that particular situation. So this is something that you got to bring to the class, and you got to build that on your own at home. So we can do that on our second class. We can start doing this planning in order for you to develop better. But one of the things that is a key part of my methodology is it takes some time for me to know you, for me to understand what you want, what you need, and for us to develop a solid plan of action. But I just before we wrap it up, I just wanted to ask you, is there any other skill that you think is relevant? I think that listening is really important, right?
Yeah.
Because both live and for content that you get online. But do you think writing matters?
Not as much as speaking.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it would be listening first, speaking second, and third would be writing.
Yeah. I'd go with the speaking first, because the creative skills, they demand more effort. Like listening is a passive thing. Passive, in a way. Like you just sit down and then you absorb the thing and then you process it. But speaking requires you to both process it and create simultaneously. So it's a little harder. So I think that we should focus on that skill here, when we're having the live classes, and you try to develop the other skills, in parallel.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So next class we will like go into more detail with the mapping stuff and so on.
Let's go.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.